the LG Wing versus the S21 Ultra. Now, this is a comparison that I did tell my subscribers that I was going to do after I did my full review for the S21 Ultra. All right, so let's get started. The S21 was released in 2021 and the LGV60 was released in 2020. Both are flagship devices and both are unlocked for all carriers. So already, just with those two things, you're winning with both of these devices. Now, let's talk about price. So when it comes to price, when it comes between these two, it's not even close. The LGV60 is going to cost you considerably less money. I've seen it on Amazon.com for a renewed one, $243. I say again, $243 for the LGV60. That is a flagship phone that is unlocked for all carriers. With the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, the lowest I've seen it for on Amazon was $609, which is still great because keep in mind this phone is a little older, but this phone is going to last you a little bit longer, and we'll get to that soon. But $609, which is still a great price because keep in mind when this phone was first released, it was $1,200 plus tax. So it's down to $609. So for those of you that could afford to just go and buy your phone outright, you're going to get a great deal with that price. That's a great price for this phone. And who knows, maybe on eBay you may be able to find it for less than $600, but that's an excellent price. All right, next let's talk about design. So always keep in mind design is subjective and it just depends on the person. For me, I like the design of both devices. One has the cameras going across, one has it going on the side, going down, vertical or diagonal, where I'm not good with that stuff. But when it comes to design for me, to be honest, I like the design of the S21 Ultra. I just like that stealthy black look of it. Now, let me take the case off really quick. It's just easier for me to handle the phones without the case on it. But here you go with the S21 Ultra. It's a beautiful, beautiful design. No question about it. I love it. Like I said, this is all subjective. What I like, you might not like. What you like, I might not like. And of course, you can easily see the design of the LGV60. And I like this design. It reminds me of the S10, the Galaxy S10. So both designs are nice, but if I had to pick between the two, which one has the better design, it is definitely for me the S21 Ultra. Next, let's talk about build quality. Now with the LGV60, you're getting Gorilla Glass 5 on the front, Gorilla Glass 6 on the back, with a military grade drop protection coating. With the S21 Ultra, you're getting Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and the back. Both have great build quality. Both feel great in the hand. Which one feels a little bit more premium in the hand to me? It would be the S21 Ultra. You know, with that matte finish on the back, it just feels a little more premium to me. But that doesn't take away the premium feel of the LGV60. Now, I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to just holding the devices, like far as being grippy and not slippery, I'm definitely going with the LGV60 because I could easily use this phone without a case and not worrying about dropping it because it's not slippery. Even though the S21 has a matte finish, this phone is still slippery for me. Now, maybe because my hand's a little drier than most people, I don't know. But for me, this phone, I cannot navigate this phone without a case. It would just slip out of my hands and I would break it. But that's not the issue with the LGV60. So now when it comes to which one feel more premium, it's the S21 Ultra. But for me overall, when it comes to just being able to hold the phone, and if I decide to use it without a case, that would be the LGV60. Next, let's talk about button placement. Now, button placement is not a big deal for everybody, but it is for me. Now, with the LGV60, you got the power button. See, this is how I rest the phone on my hand. And as you can see, the power button is up here. So I literally got to stretch to get to it, or I got to reposition my hand to get to the power button. The power button on the LGV60 is way too high. Just way too high. Where my thumb is at is where it should be. And you got the volume rockers on the left, along with a dedicated Google button. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people prefer the volume rockers on the left. I don't. I'm right-handed. I prefer everything on the right. I don't really care about a dedicated Google button, honestly, because ever since I've had this phone, I don't think I've used it once. But that's me. You may use it. I just forget that it's there. So I prefer all the buttons on the right. And this power button is just too high. When it comes to the S21 Ultra, see where my thumb is? My finger is right on the power button. Everything is on the right. Volume rockers are just above the power button. Nothing on the left. This is perfect button placement for me. And I'm only speaking for me. I'm not speaking for everybody out there. So in my opinion, the S21 Ultra has the best button placement. Next, let's talk about always on display. As you can see, both offer a always on display. Both are great. For the longest time, I prefer the always on display on the Samsung. They make the best always on display, in my opinion. Way more customizable. You know, I just love it the way they do it. You have access to more widgets and everything. Now, LG has always been second, in my opinion, because theirs is nice and bright, easily to see. Only thing about LGs that I don't like is, as you can see, you can't see the fingerprint sensor, which Samsung allows you to see all the time. And also when it comes to notifications, see how they're all white and they're very, very small, and how much bigger they are on the Samsung S21 Ultra. And also you can see that they're colored. So I know that all of these are YouTube notifications. You can kind of see that this is Facebook, but it's so small and it's all just white. So I prefer the always on display on the Samsung, even though I love the fact that both of them have it. But I believe LG's actually gets a little bit brighter. But for me, I prefer it on the S21 Ultra. Next, let's talk about face unlock. Now, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. No face unlock on the LGV60, which is a big disappointment because for me, that's a basic feature on a phone. I mean, you got $200, you got $150 phones that have face unlock. So I have no idea why LG decided to remove face unlock from their devices. And they started that after the LG V30. They started removing the face unlock. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. Of course, you know, Samsung does have face unlock, and this does have the face unlock on it. Works pretty well. It can be sometime it reads my face, sometime it don't. But I'm glad it does have it because I prefer to have more than one biometric way to open my device. So that's something that's important to me. So I like the fact that the S21 does have face unlock. Next, let's talk about fingerprint sensor. Both have a in-display fingerprint sensor. However, they are implemented a little bit differently. With the LG V60, you have a optical fingerprint sensor, and with the Samsung, you have an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. Both work pretty well. Samsung's is a little bit faster, more responsive, but the thing I like about the LG is that you do get haptic feedback on a little vibration, and you also can change the animation when using the fingerprint sensor. Let me show you real quick. So you get that little animation, and I like that. Hold on a second. I lost my wallpaper for some reason on this. So you can see how beautiful. So you can see how beautiful this thing is. Oh, I hate these ads. They are annoying. All right. Sorry, y'all, for this delay. All right, here we go. Apply. All right, we good to go. Now I got my thing back. But you can see, you get the little animation down here. And I like that. With the Samsung, you're not getting anything. The phone just turns on. I lost my... I'll tell you, it's just one of them days. Now, of course, I could edit this out, but no need. It ain't going to take me but a second. No need. I just keep everything in real time. That's just how I do. All right. So as you can see, with the Samsung, there's no animation. Now, it does have one, but it's so weak and boring. I just, took it off. And, I mean, that's it. I mean, it does work fast. Don't get me wrong. And between the two, like I said, they both have the in-display fingerprint sensor, but the Samsung's is more advanced because it's ultrasonic and it's a little bit more secure. But the LG's is adequately secure. The only reason why I'm saying that, because my bank allows me to use the fingerprint sensor. So it is, both are secure, but the Samsung is a little bit more secure because it's ultrasonic technology. Next, let's talk about dual stereo speakers. Now, this is important. Let me see. Hopefully, this stayed where I had it yesterday. Of course, it did not. Because I want you to listen to these speakers. I want you to hear them. Let me see. See if I could find that. Yeah, this is it. All right, I found it. Let's see if it's still on here. Because I wanted to play this. Okay, so you can hear it. All right, so I'm going to play the same song on both of these devices, and I want you to listen to them. Now, in my opinion, the LGV60 speakers are louder and sound better than that of the Samsung S21 Ultra, but I want you to hear for yourself. Y'all tell me down in the comments which speakers you think is better. And they're both already up full capacity. All up full capacity, so you can see that, okay? All right, I'm going to play the LGs first. Now I'm going to play the S21 Ultra. All right, so y'all tell me which one y'all think sounds better. Now, to me, the Samsung does sound good. Don't get me wrong, but I think the LG dual stereo speakers are better. All right, now let's talk about the headphone jack and audio. Now, when it comes to the headphone jack, we only can talk about the LGV60 because it's the only one here on this table that has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. The S21 Ultra does not have that. Something Samsung removed from their devices when they came out with the Note 10 Plus. They took the headphone jack off their devices, and now they're taking them off everything. No flagship device now from Samsung has a headphone jack. So for those of you that are headphone jack lovers, I know you're happy that you can still get your hand on a phone like this, a flagship phone with a headphone jack. And also, what takes the audio of this device to the next level, it also is accompanied by a 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC. You put some high impedance headphones in there, or even some $15 headphones like a Panasonic, which I have, you're going to get superior sound with that of the LGV60. Now, don't get me wrong, the 32-bit DAC in the S21 Ultra is no slouch. You're going to get very good sound out of this device as well. Good high fidelity sound, but it's not touching the 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC in the LGV60. So when it comes to overall audio, the LGV60 wins when it comes to overall audio, whether it be the dual stereo speakers or the sound that comes through the audio, the headphone jack. Next, let's talk about the display. Now, this is one of the biggest things that are, probably one of the most important things that matter to me when it comes to a smartphone is the display, how bright it is, how beautiful it is. Now, as you can see, both of these are beautiful. You can see that the S21 Ultra is a little bit brighter. It may be a little more sharp, more punchy colors, but both of these have awesome and great displays. Now with the LGV60, you're getting a 6.8-inch 1080p POLED display with a pixel density of 395. Okay, beautiful, beautiful display. HDR10 plus, 700 nits peak brightness. Now you can make this phone even brighter. Let me show you really quick. You go into display, and let me show you real quick. See this right here? Extra brightness. So you could turn that on. Now it's going to consume a little bit more battery, but you can definitely make it a little brighter. It almost looks the same brightness as the S21. Now the reason why that's kind of crazy is because this has a peak brightness of 1500 nits. 1500 nits. Now you can still see it's a little bit brighter, but not that much brighter, honestly. Now keep in mind of the wallpaper. The wallpaper is a little different. So this is one like a nighttime wallpaper. This one more like a, you know, like a midday or evening wallpaper. So it's gonna look brighter. Now let me do a different way of showing you that. Okay, show you this. Open up both my movie apps. Then y'all tell me. Now looking at it like this, they both look pretty similar when it comes to overall brightness. So that's amazing to me that this one has a peak brightness of 700 nits. This one has a peak brightness of 1500 nits, but it's really not that much brighter than that of the LGV60. So I don't know how LG, you know, configured this display to be this bright and not even have that many nits. I don't know, but that's pretty amazing to me, honestly. It really is. Now, with the S21 Ultra, you're getting a 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display, Quad HD plus HDR10 plus capability. So you're not dealing with a Quad HD display with the LGV60, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't matter, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes, honestly, and I'm being honest, this display is so beautiful. Sometimes it looks like a Quad HD display. That's how awesome this display is. I mean, it's sharp, vivid, punchy, bright. Sometimes, honestly, it looks like it's a Quad HD display, but it's not. Now, of course, with the Samsung, you're getting a Quad HD Plus display with HDR10 Plus, 515 pixel density, and 120 hertz refresh rate. You're not getting a high refresh rate with the LGV60, but that does not matter because this phone is nice and smooth and it's fast. So sometimes, honestly, when I'm scrolling with the LGV60, it feels like it has a high refresh rate, and I'm just being completely honest. But the S21 Ultra does have a higher refresh rate at 120 hertz, and it's a little bit brighter display, and you know, so it's a slightly better display, I'll say, not by much. And the only reason why I'm saying it's slightly better is because it has a Quad HD display. All right. Both of these devices are IP68 water and dust resistant. So when it comes to water damage, you don't have to worry about either one of these. If you just 5 feet for 30 minutes of water, you'll be fine. You go in anything deeper than 5 feet for longer than 30 minutes, you're going to have a problem. So if you get caught in a rainstorm, don't have to worry about it. If you drop it in the tub, if you drop it in the sink, you drop it in the toilet, drop it in the shower, you're going to be fine. Next, let's talk about battery life. Both of these come with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. And the battery life in both of these are beast mode status. However, when it comes to standby time, the LGV60 is far superior than that of the Samsung S21 Ultra. For some reason, Samsung could not fix their standby time issue. This battery just drains even if you don't use it at all. It just drains. I had it charge it up to 100%. And by morning it was down to 93%, between 93 and 92% after only I think that was only after maybe 4 or 5 hours. Like, can you imagine? It would have been like 90% had I, slept 8 hours. 10% overnight. That's crazy. It's ridiculous. With the LGV60, you're going to lose anywhere between 2 to 3% overnight. So standby time is better. And also, this phone, I can get 2 days of battery life. I could get a day and a half with the S21. So the battery life on both are very impressive, but the battery life on the LGV60 is better because I can get 2 days and I can get about a day and a half on the Samsung S21 Ultra. Next, let's talk about wireless charging. Now, both of these have wireless charging and both are 15 watts, which is a little shocking. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because from 0 to 100%, keep in mind it's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 15 watt wireless charging takes 3 hours and 21 minutes. I'll say it again. 0 to 100%, 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 3 hours and 21 minutes to fully charge, which is absurd. That's absurd. If you're charging overnight, no big deal. With the S21 Ultra, 2 hours and 42 minutes from 0 to 100%. Keep in mind, both have 15 watt wireless charging. I don't know why there's such a big discrepancy between the two. I have no idea, but that's what it is. Next, let's talk about reverse wireless charging. So only the S21 has reverse wireless charging, otherwise known as power share, where you could take a smartwatch, put it on the back, give it charge. You could take this phone, put it on the back, give it charge. And also you could charge some wireless earbuds. It has 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging, which could come in handy if you're out with somebody, they don't have a way of charging their phone, is about to die, and you can give them some charge to keep their phone from powering off. That's when reverse wireless charging can come in handy. Or say you leave out of the house, you forgot to charge your watch, you can put it on the back of your phone, give it enough charge to keep it from turning off. So reverse wireless charging does come in handy. Probably most people don't use it. I've actually used it and it worked out well for me. I was out all day and then my watch got really low and I forgot to charge it the night before. I was with somewhere where I couldn't, I didn't have my charger. Put it right on the back of my phone and got about 30% charge, and that was enough to get me through the rest of the evening. So reverse wireless charging is no gimmick, especially if you use it, it could definitely come in handy. Next, let's talk about battery charging speeds. So with the LGV60, you're using quick charge 4.0, very, very slow charging. Maybe that's, I forgot what charging that is, but it's pretty slow. Let's say that. So you're looking at from 0 to 100%, an hour and 42 minutes. Now that was like that's basically like 15 watt fast charging, because that's how fast the Samsung phones used to charge with the Note 9. Yeah, the Note 9, 15 watts, hour and 42 minutes. That was the usual time. So this is 15 watts. So hour and 42 minutes, that's normal, for old technology. Now, for the S21 Ultra, you got 25 watt fast charging. So I can charge this from 0 to 100% in about an hour and 10 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. Sometimes it varies. So when it comes to charging speeds, S21 Ultra is faster, but not that much faster than that of the LGV60. So I'm not overly impressed with either when it comes to battery charging speeds. Next, let's talk about RAM management. So both have great RAM management. LGV60 comes with 8 gigs of RAM. S21 Ultra comes with 12 gigs of RAM. RAM management on both is equal and is great. No issues with RAM management at all. Next, let's talk about expandable storage. So we can only talk about one device here. That would be the LGV60. You have expandable storage up to 2 terabytes. S21 offers no expandable storage. This is the device that Samsung decided to remove such an important feature. I mean, huge. I mean, not having expandable storage for me is a deal breaker. It just is. Especially from a Samsung device, because that's something they've always offered on their devices. The budget, mid-range, and flagships always gave us expandable storage. Now they took away one of the most important features on a phone, period. And keep in mind, this phone can shoot at 8K at 24 frames per second. So if you're shooting 8K video, or even if you're shooting a bunch of 4K video, 128 gigs is not going to cut it. And you shouldn't have to pay another $100 for a larger variant. That's ridiculous. So them removing that feature is all about money. And I don't like it. And I'm not going to buy one of their devices, because I'm not keeping this one. I'm not buying one of their devices and they don't come with expandable storage. I'm not doing it. I just refuse. I got plenty of Samsung devices, got expandable storage. I'm good. I don't like that. And I'm not going to tolerate that by just accepting it. The only way they're going to make changes is if we say something. LGV60, like I said, expandable storage up to 2 terabytes. So basically, you're getting unlimited storage with the LGV60. And I know for those of you that are thinking about getting this, or those of you that already have this, you're loving the fact that you can expand this storage pretty much into eternity. Next, let's talk about internal storage. 128 gigs of internal storage on the LGV60, 128 gigs of storage on the S21 Ultra. This is the base model for both of these devices, because there is a 256 gig variant for the LGV60, but the advantage that the S21 Ultra has, there's a 128 gig variant, of course, which is what I have here, 256 gig variant, and a 512 gig variant when it comes to internal storage. LG locked this in at 256, which to me that's excellent for 256, because you can expand the storage up to 2 terabytes. So it's not a big deal about 128 for me on that. Now, if this came with expandable storage, 128 gigs of internal storage wouldn't really bother me. Even though based on the price, it should have been 256. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that this phone is so expensive and they took away such an important feature, the base model of storage should be 512. Seriously. Because you remove such an important feature. I mean, the Note 20 Ultra, 1 terabyte, you take it away and it only gave me 128 on the base model. I just don't understand that. So it should have been 512 to start with, especially with this being 1200 when it was released. Now for 600, you probably can swallow that, but 128 for me, I can't do it. It's not enough space. Like my Note 20 Ultra that I got right now, I'm sending that back to get the larger 256 variant, because it's not enough storage for me. 128 ain't cutting it for me. 256 is the minimum. I can work with that, but I can't work with 128. I stored way too much stuff on my phone for it to only have 128. That's not going to cut it. So for those of you that want to shoot a lot of vlogs, like to shoot a lot of video, you can do 8K, you can go crazy with 4K. You can just go crazy with this, because you could expand that storage into eternity. So big win for the LGV60 when it comes to expandable store. I'm talking about internal storage. I'm sorry, my fault. I got a little distracted, y'all. But internal storage, I'm cool with it on the LGV60. I'm not satisfied with it on the S21 Ultra, because this phone does not have any expandable storage. So I don't like 128 gigs for the base model for $1,200. That's ridiculous. Next, let's talk about performance. So the LGV60 comes with the Snapdragon 865. S21 Ultra comes with Snapdragon 888. When it comes to performance, they're pretty much even across the board. I get great performance from both devices. No issue with performance, but I will say the LGV60 does feel a little bit smoother going in and out of apps. And that's with this 120 hertz refresh rate. Now, I'm not saying that the S21 Ultra is not smooth, but sometimes the LGV60 feels smoother, and it doesn't even have a high refresh rate. So when it comes to performance, they're both great. Next, let's talk about software and software support. Now, when it comes to support, the LGV60 is running Android 12 right now, and it will receive Android 13. That will be the last Android update for this device, and it's going to receive 2 more years of security patches. When it comes to the S21 Ultra, it's going to receive all the way up to Android 14. Android 14, or was it Android 15? All I know, I believe it's Android 14. So it's going to get 2 more years of security patches, and then it's going to get 3 more years. 2 more years of Android updates and 3 more years of security patches. So this phone is going to last you longer. For those of you that Android updates matter to you. Android updates don't matter to everybody. For some, as long as their device is working well, they're not having any issues with it, they're fine. They don't care about Android updates. And you can put your own layer of security on your device if you have to. So security patch is not a big deal either. You can definitely put security software on your phone that will encrypt your phone. So that's not really a big deal, security patches. It's really not. Now, the S21 Ultra, 2 more years. 2 to 3 more years and 3 more years security patches. So the longer lasting device when it comes to support is easily the S21 Ultra. Both devices are highly customizable. However, the S21 Ultra is way more customizable and it offers more features. Because Samsung has always been known for features. They've been packing their phones with features ever since, for me, the S4. The S4 is my first Android device, and that thing has so many features. Now, they didn't all work well, but I just like the fact that they had them, and I like playing with them. But Samsung has always been known for packing their devices with tons and tons of features, because good luck takes this device to a whole nother level. So when it's about features and it's about customizable, being customizable, definitely going to be the S21 Ultra. All right, next, both have NFC and both support Wi-Fi 6. Both have one-handed mode. Now they both do one-handed mode a little differently. I prefer it on the. It's a little harder to do it on the LG. I don't know. I don't like it the way they got it set up. See, now I'm having trouble showing it to you because you gotta like start from the side and hold. But every time I do that, it keeps bringing over the Google feed. Okay, it just did it. So as you can see, it brought half of the screen down low like that. I don't like that. I really don't like that. And then you press up and it go back to normal. I don't like that. I like the way Samsung does one-handed mode. It's way, way better. You just slide down. You make the whole screen smaller. So I still have access to the whole display, not just half of the display. And you can move this from side to side, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed. So I like the one-handed mode on the Samsung a lot better than that of the LGV60. Not even close. Next, both are 5G capable and both have great phone call quality. Now, that's something I normally don't ever talk about when I'm doing these reviews in comparison when it comes to phones. But honestly, the phone call quality on both of these are excellent. Now, let's talk about some special features for the LG V60. Now, the LG V60 can support a dual screen. Okay, you can get a dual screen case, and you could take your multitasking to a whole nother level if you choose to do so. It also has a dedicated Google button, which I told you about earlier. It offers a desktop mode similar to that of DeX on the Samsung, but it's not as refined. You also have pen support, so you can buy a pen and use it on the screen, somewhat like the S Pen. You have edge lighting and link to Windows. So those are some of the special features that you have on the LG V60. Now, when it comes to the S21 Ultra, you have special features, and I'm not talking about every single feature on both, but I'm talking about the ones that are special to me and that are important to me. Samsung DeX, Samsung Pay, Secure Folder, Samsung Pass, Bixby Routines, Side Key, S Pen capability, Quick Share, Floating Notifications, Edge Panels, Edge Lighting, Smart Switch, Samsung Notes, Secure Wi-Fi, and Lift to Wake. Those are all the special features that are important to me when it comes to the S21 Ultra. Now, now we about to wrap this up. Let's talk about the cameras. All right, because for some people that it's all about the cameras. Now I'm going to say this: I'm not getting super detailed, with the cameras, only because I'm not a camera buff. I'm not heavily into photography. I'm a point and shoot type of person. I don't use a lot of the modes that's on these devices. I like that they're on there if I choose to do that, adventure out one day and try to use all these different modes, but I'm not heavily into the camera like that. I'm just not. But I'm going to be honest with you, based on my comparison between these two, when it comes to cameras, the S21 Ultra is superior to the LGV60. Now, let me say this. The LGV60 can hold its own. I will say that. This device doesn't take any bad photos, but they're just not on the level of the S21 Ultra. They're just not. But these cameras are really, really good. Okay? Now, when it comes to the cameras with the LG, you're getting a 64 megapixel standard lens, 13 megapixel ultra wide, 3 megapixel time of flight depth sensor, and a 10 megapixel standard selfie. But no wide angle on the selfie. That's a huge disappointment and a mistake by LG. I don't know why would you take away the option to have a wide angle on the selfie. Makes no sense. I don't like that. When it comes to video, LGV60 shoots at 8K 24 frames per second, 4K at 60 frames per second, and 1080p at 60 frames per second. When it comes to the front selfie, you can shoot at 4K at 60 frames per second and 1080p at 60 frames per second. When it comes to the camera modes for the LGV60, you got night view, panorama, manual camera, manual video, YouTube live, cinematic shot, portrait, AR stickers, and time lapse. So these are all the functions of the cameras on the LG V60. And one of my favorites is the manual mode video, because I'm using the LG Wing to record this video, and I'm using manual mode. So manual mode is pretty awesome on the LG V60. So I love that mode on this device. All right, now when it comes to the cameras on the S21 Ultra, you got 108 megapixel wide, 10 megapixel periscope telephoto, 10 megapixel telephoto lens, and the 12 megapixel ultra wide. Now with the selfie, you're getting a 40 megapixel wide. So you do have a wide angle on the S21 Ultra. And with the selfie camera, you can shoot at 4K, 60 frames per second, and 1080p at 60 frames per second. And of course, on the rear, 8K 24, 4K at 60, and 1080p at 60. When it comes to camera modes for the S21 Ultra, you're getting portrait mode, pro video, Bixby Vision, AR zone, night mode, food mode, single take, panorama, super slow motion, hyperlapse, portrait video mode, and director's view. So, also when it comes to the S21 Ultra and the cameras, the S21 Ultra cameras are more versatile than that of the LG V60. You're getting way more shooting modes, which makes more fun for some people. For those of you that really like to get into the camera and take all different types of shots and modes and stuff, you're going to like the S21 Ultra better than the LG V60. And overall camera and video quality, photos and video are better on the S21 Ultra. But like I said, and I'll say again, even in 2022, the LG V60 can hold its own when it comes to the camera. All right, so thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Sorry I can't make these type of comparison videos in 10 minutes, but I don't do 10-minute comparison videos. I go in as deep as I can. I try to, get into the things that I know that are important to most people and that are definitely important to me, and give you that. So thank you all for taking the time. If you made it to the end, I do appreciate it. Please hit that thumbs up and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop more content, and also subscribe so you'll see more content like this in the future. I also will be coming up soon with S21 Ultra against the OnePlus 8 Pro. I'll be doing that shortly. All right, so thank you very much. I do appreciate you, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if I had to choose between these two, if I had to choose and didn't have no choice, I'm going to go with the LG V60. Better battery life, better speakers, better audio, and expandable storage and a headphone jack. I would go with the LGV60. All right, y'all take care. Peace.